if we expand that outside of our bodies, we start to see that we as people are not so different than other things. For instance, Dublin, right? A dog. Dogs also are animals. They also breathe. And we're going to use breathing as our main focus here. So when it comes to longevity, if we take this pug as an example, how quickly do they breathe, right? And everybody knows that dogs breathe really quickly, right? Dogs, birds, all kinds of animals that are smaller than us especially breathe a lot more quickly than we do. And consequently, they also lead shorter lives. So one of the big foundations of this idea is that over time, people started to realize that things that breathe quickly live less time. So in order to kind of expand from that, they started to look at themselves. And of course, it's very easy to go, well, what animals live longer than us? And if you go back into Chinese mythology and legend, tortoises and turtles become a huge symbol of longevity because they live longer lives than we do. And if you watch a turtle or a tortoise breathe, they tend to breathe slower. So naturally, it made sense to start wanting to breathe slower because obviously a slower animal's breath, the longer they live. So breath control becomes a huge part of longevity training. And longevity doesn't just mean, living longer. What it means is living a better life longer. Like everybody's going to age. Everybody's going to fall apart eventually, right? Something's going to go wrong. But the thing is, you want it to be as late in life as possible. You'd much rather live 80 years than 60, and you'd much rather live 80 good years than 60 good years and then 20 really terrible ones, okay? So that's what it means by longevity. It's not just long life, it's long health. So when we're practicing breathing exercises, one of the Qigongs that really made a difference for me was actually a tree Qigong. And trees, the point of the tree Qigong, this is a Taoist Qigong before I get to the Buddhist one of the point of the tree Qigongs is that trees have a couple of things in common with us. They stand between heaven and earth, right? They're very upright, just like we are. And they breathe very slowly, though. Now, trees live hundreds, if not thousands of years. And how often does a tree breathe? It breathes once a day. For 12 hours, a tree inhales, essentially, and expels oxygen. And for 12 hours a day, it expels CO2. So its breathing cycle takes 24 hours. Now, obviously, they outlive us a lot. So this is another one of those things that we can look at and go, wow, it's a being, not necessarily an animal in this case, but a being that lives. And the longer it lives is associated directly with how slowly it breathes. So on that note, my Lohan Sifu, Chen Qiming, really studies Buddhist and Taoist longevity arts. That was kind of his focus. It's been his focus his whole life. So the life and death Qigong was a big part of what he was working on as far as his research and its effects. So once again, life and death Qigong, as you breathe in, Buddhist breathing, this expands along with the lungs and it contracts along with the lungs.